Hello guys, welcome back to Norway and welcome back to Brann. We are at the start of the season, our first season here in the top flight. Of course, after getting promoted at the end of last season, we did go up as champions, by the way. Sandefjord dropped points on the final day. I think they got beat and we won against Sarpsborg. So we ended up winning the title by 6 points in the end. So, you know, it wasn't as comfortable as we would have liked to have been, but we got there in the end and we were the champions. So we are now into the top flight in Norway after a little bit of a delay. Not quite as much as a delay as we had in Denmark though. I was there for 8 years. Far too long of a delay in Denmark. So we move into the new season. We have made some signings. There has been some outs as well financially because of the signings we've made. We're £2.2 million in the hole, but I spent the transfer budget that I had. Basically, if the board want to give me a transfer budget which is more than I can afford, then you know, that's their issue. We are massively under the wage budget as well, but because of the squad registration rules, I can only actually register 25 players. So that's kind of where we're at. Some of the players who I don't want to be here anymore won't leave, basically, which is, I'm sure any Football Manager players out there, it's a pretty common occurrence in Football Manager. We'll start off, first of all, though. We'll go through the signings and we'll have a look at who's gone out. There's not been too many. A lot of them have gone out free transfers at the end of their contracts. Dean Robertson, I believe you saw that last season, or did I not show it? Dean Robertson left at the end of last season. It went to Viking. I think I did show it, didn't I, if I remember rightly. So the only one who's actually gone in between seasons is none of the first team players, which is fine. They were all players whose contracts expired. The most notable was probably Isdal. He did play a couple of games for me last season. He's gone to our former club in Vegard, and Vegard themselves are doing okay. They're still there or thereabouts. They're going to be in the relegation group again. Copenhagen are having a shocking season. They're 22 points behind AGF after they did win the title again last season, after we left them with the squad and well in the lead as well. So right, in terms of ins transfer wise, there's not been too many. There's only been 3, and the first one in was at the end of last season. It was Tengal Stivang from Aylesund. He's coming for £2.2 million. He is a striker / winger, and he's very, very good. He is very, very good. He's a drastic improvement on anything else that we had at the club to begin with. According to the skin, though, his player IQ isn't the greatest, and that involves his anticipation and his concentration, which you can see are down at 9 and 5. His concentration is absolutely shocking. He also doesn't really enjoy big matches, but he's had a great pre-season for us, whether he's played here at the attacking midfielder on the left or as the striker. So expecting good things to come from Tengal. He's a fairly decent player. Great finishing, passing. Could do with a little bit more pace. But yeah, quite pleased with him. £2.2 million, maybe he's a little bit inflated, but that was the market. And of course, if you look at his goal scoring stats through his career, he's not really scored too many goals for somebody who's a striker. 23 in 215 is not great, really. But that's in the Norwegian Premier League as well, which is of course where we're playing now. We then brought in Thomas Eikinger Urban. We'll probably just call him Urban for the season. He is the left back for the season. Of course, Denman has gone back to Vegard after his loan spell here. He's a very good left back that we've managed to pick up here for £550,000 from Kristiansund. Quite pleased to have him here. I don't know why the squad comparison lists him as a centre back when he's quite clearly naturally a left back. I don't know why it does that. I'm sure I've seen other people who use this skin. There's actually a drop down box where you can change what position that is. Whether that doesn't show for me because I'm using a laptop compared to a PC, that might be the thing. But he's in as a fringe player, so you know he doesn't rate himself. Our assistants don't rate him either. But I think he is a very good left back. You can see here that the assistant doesn't really rate him. We'll see how he goes on through the season. And then we've brought in Eirik Hagen from Fredrikstad. He is the centre-back, 25-year-old Norwegian, coming as a regular starter. He's another one who our assistant doesn't really rate. but we needed somebody at centre back. Of course, Johannes has gone back on loan, gone back from his loan spell from our parent club Nice, but I think he's pretty decent. His marking, his tackling, again, could be quicker, but he's got good jump and reach. Concentration's okay, great determination. Heading's not the best, but it's what we've got. We paid £1.1 million for him. Again, he played okay last season in the Premiership for Fredrikstad. They got relegated. So yeah, maybe some questionable signings, but we'll see how we get on. So not too many changes to the squad, and like I say, that is due to squad registration rules. If we have a quick look at the registration, maximum of 25 players on part-time contracts or better, and that's my entire first team basically, other than Haldor Skard, who I've had to leave out, but he is transfer listed, and this is one of the issues that I do have, is getting rid of some of these players, unfortunately. So this is the squad that we're going to have to go with for this season. But let's get into it. The first two games we've got are against Haugesund, and we're taking on the dominant team here in Bodo Glimt. So we're going to do both those games today and see just how we get on back in the Premier League. Quickly, before we get into that though, let's just have a look at the season preview just to see how the media think we're going to do. And it's 13th at 301 to 1. The two teams who came up with us predicted to finish in the bottom two. We've got one of our former players there in Gamersvik in the Media Dream 11. Be nice if we could have kept him, but unfortunately it was never going to be. As a left back, if we compare him to our new left back, it's night and day really, the difference, isn't it? So this is the left back that we had the last time we were in the Premier League compared to what we've got now. But the difference being AI manager and me basically. So we'll see how we get on. But 301 to 1, I'd possibly expect us to finish in this sort of area. Maybe get some Champions League football, not Champions League, European football. That would be great. Vålerenga, the job did not become available for whatever reason, despite them finishing down in 11th place. It's a shocking season for them in terms of where they should have been. He's a reasonably new manager as well. It's only been there for one season. So you finished 16th in... So he actually got relegated as Sandefjord, lost his job, and then was hired by Vålerenga and has done a poor job with them as well. But he didn't get the sack with a 48% win ratio. Anyway, it would have been nice if that became available. But let's get into today's game. First game is against Haugesund. Hopefully we can start off with a win. And this is the lineup that we're going to start the season with. It's going to be Ford in goal. Of course, it was here when we got here. The goalkeeper, 27-year-old Norwegian. Fairly decent. Ponce, the one who we signed last season, Guillermo Ponce, 25-year-old Chilean. Again, okay. Could be better, but okay. Hagen, the new signing at centre-half, alongside Abrahamsen, who does drop back into the centre of defence for this season. Again, best of a bad bunch of defenders that we've got at the club. Again, first division side player. And Urban as the new left-back. We'll see how he gets on. Granheim starts as one of the Scandinavians today. He's very, very good in that position, but he can't defend, which is a little bit of a letdown for him. He didn't play too many games for us last season, 9, but he had an okay start. He's interchangeable, though, with Krokstrand. We'll see how that gets on. Kolsvik continues as the defensive midfielder on defend. There were some bids coming for him. I rejected them. He came to me and said, why? And I said, because I want this much money for you. And that's now at £2.6 million. So unfortunately, if somebody does come in with £2.6 million for Kolsvik, then he's probably going to be on his way, unfortunately. And Darm Lidvet is the other Segundo Volante. Again, decent sort of player. He's the opposite to Gronheim, where he can defend but he can't shoot. So hopefully they can work together and produce some results for us. Wingers starting the season is going to be Nestor Alonso, one of our signings from last season. Very, very good as an inside forward. Hopefully he can have a good season for us. On the other side, it's going to be Palumbo. Palumbo again, fairly decent player, 22-year-old Norwegian. Yeah, young player. We'll see how he gets on. He's playing because we do have an injury to Molokken. He's out for 5 to 11 days, but Palumbo actually played quite well for us last season. And then it's a new man up front in Stevang. Hopefully he can bag us loads of goals to stave off that relegation. Right guys, and we're underway in our first game back in the top flight here in Norway. Like I say, hopefully we can have a good season and build on that for next season, or just a good season and a bigger job becomes available in Norway. We're not trying to be too sentimental in this save. We're just here to win the leagues and then move on to the next one. Next one, coincidentally, is the Czech Republic. It is an early chance for Haugesund, and they've scored it. Of course they have. It's a direct free kick. It was always going to go in, wasn't it? It's just the way Football Manager works, unfortunately. We will never score one of them from that position, but they'll score 95% of them, unfortunately. Czech Republic is next, obviously, when we get there. I believe that once we finish Norway, then Scandinavia is officially complete. We've done Iceland, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and then this one is Norway, which obviously is the last one for us in Scandinavia. So yeah, Scandinavia would be a big one to tick off, wouldn't it? Obviously we've still got to win this one though, first of all. As we come forward now, it's Palumbo. He's in behind the defence. He's hit the bottom of the post. Great chance for Palumbo. It was a great ball forward to find him. Unfortunately we weren't able to apply the finish. We are still looking to get back into this game though. We are actually playing the better team here. We're doing well. Abrahamson does win that header. Palumbo turns his defender, ball forward over the top towards Stevang. Can he score? He did score, but it was offside. I thought it might have been offside from the initial ball from Palumbo. But as you can see there, guys, we are actually the better team. As Granheim with this corner, it's towards that near post, headed clear, but Alonso keeps it live for Palumbo. He's a bit more composure there from Palumbo to get that one on the target would have helped out massively. But as you can see at half time, we are on top here in this game, which is great. Unfortunately, we are behind on the scoreboard. And into the second half, it's Urban with the deep throw-in on the left-hand side for us. We've worked the ball back to Abrahamson, into the midfield towards Granheim. Granheim with the ball forward towards Stevang. Stevang's not having the best of games, by the way. He's on a 6.1, but he does find Guillermo Ponce with that pass. Back to the new man, Hagen. Ball over the top, looking for Palumbo. Can't get there, though, but Ponce does win the header. Now Granheim. Granheim's tackled. He's done well to get away from two defenders there. Ball down the line towards Palumbo's fouled, surely. No, says the referee. And we play on, but Urban does well to step in and win that ball. He's got Alonso down the line outside of him. Can he deliver? He can towards Palumbo. Palumbo's missed another one. Palumbo's having these opportunities here, but he's just not putting the ball in the back of the net. As Granheim looks to take this corner towards that edge of that 6-yard box. It's headed clear again, and this is the danger. Haugesund looking to counter-attack with Bjorkenis. Ball forward towards Flolid. Is that? And Flolid applies the finish to make it 2-0 to Haugesund. So we're the ones applying all the pressure here. And they're the ones scoring the goals. Not great really, is it? Into the final 15 minutes. We are looking to get back into this game though. But Haugesund are still the ones coming forward, and they've made it 3. Brathen has made it 3-0 to Haugesund. This is a great start back in the top flight. You remember at the start of the episode where I said, or near the start of the episode where I said we're aiming for 6th or 7th? It's going to be hard work to get to 6th or 7th. I don't know where our defence is. It's asleep somewhere. But despite being we've been the much better team here, we're just behind. We're getting beat 3-0 despite being the better team. It's a little bit concerning, and we've got Boda Glimt next, and actually Boda are losing their first game. Unfortunately, though, guys, that is a 3-0 defeat. Stevang's had a shocker. I did move him out to the right-hand side and bring Solheim on to see if that would make any difference. It hasn't. It's a shocking result, and I fancy a wager that we're bottom of the league after that opening day. Indeed we are. We are bottom of the table. Right, we'll be back in 7 days' time, where we're going to take on the all-conquering Boda Glimt to see if we can win our first game back in the top flight. So I'll catch up with you guys again in just a minute. Right, guys, welcome back. We've gone through those 7 days. We're here at the start of the Boda Glimt game. We've made a couple of changes to the starting lineup, as you'd expect after that last game against Haugesund. A very disappointing return to the top flight. We've brought in Cowie as the right back for today. Tegan comes in up top. Otterstad On the right-hand side, we'll just have a quick look at Otterstad. Of course, we signed him last season. Only played 12 games for us, probably not as many as we would have liked. Stivang moves over to the left-hand side with Tegan up top, who I believe was actually our top goal scorer last season, was Espen Tegan. I did prefer him towards the end of the season. I preferred Solheim over him, but Solheim still a young man, only 17 years old, but lots of room to grow into. So, Bodo Glimt. Are we going to win this one, maybe? There's only one way to find out, isn't there? So, let's go. Let's go. What a shocking start to the season. It's painful. It is painful. Bodo Glimt have won it numerous times in over the course of this save, which we are now 46 years into, by the way. 46 years into this save, which is absolutely unreal. I've never played any save longer than 10, 15 years, and we're 46 into this one. As Bodo come forward straight away, it's a clip free kick over the top. We've allowed their attacker to bring it down, despite the fact that he was surrounded by red shirts. Thankfully, though, we have managed to at least get something on it and get it behind for a corner. But Bugild is going to take this corner. Stivang hens it away. Is that Kwon Jin Soo? Is that our former player, Kwon Jin Soo? Who did we have Kwon Jin Soo for? Did I have him at Copenhagen? I think I did, you know. I did. I had Kwon Jin... Yeah, I signed Kwon Jin Soo for Copenhagen. They've let him go on a free to Bodo. The South Korean. He was a good player. Now he comes up against his former managers. Cowie finds Otterstad. Cowie with the ball into the box towards Stivang. Tingle Stivang puts the ball in the back of the net for his first goal for the club in competitive football. 15 minutes on the clock, and Brann that do take the lead against Bodo. Hopefully this is the season that Bodo have an off season. We've seen that a couple of times across the course of this save, where we come to a nation and the dominant team has an off season, and it allows us to go on and win the league. But obviously we're not aiming to win the league this time around with Brann. It would be great if we did, first time of asking, but I just think we're in terms of the odds that we've got, I think we're too far away. As Ford looks for Tegan, can't get there. Kara says Britta wins the ball. Kwon Jin Soo brings it down further, but Hagen does well to win that header, but it still falls at the feet of a Bodo player. He's tracked by the number 14, can't get his foot on the ball, but it's headed clear again by the defence, but still it is Bodo Glimt coming forward. We have forced them back to the defence in Maya, though, as Halgen wins that header. Now Otterstad, that's, oh my... The commentary there at the bottom said that was Otterstad's poor pass that led to the goal. It wasn't. Watch this. Hagen, get the ball. How is that Otterstad's fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Hagen. That is your fault. Entirely your fault. You can't afford to do things like that against teams like Bodo Glimt, unfortunately. As now Cowie finds Hagen. Back to Cowie. Ball over the top, looking for Otterstad. Can't get there. Our former player, Gamishvik, does get there instead. And he goes long, straight to Kolsvik, though. Damn Lidvet. Tegan, surely offside. Surely offside from Tegan. It looked a mile offside to me. Unless Gamishvik in this left-hand corner where we couldn't quite see him, was still playing him on. It was a great finish, though, by Tegan. Let's not take anything away from the finish. It's been awarded. Gamishvik must have been playing Tegan onside. It's a poor clearance from our former man. Maybe he's doing us a little bit of a favour there. It's a good ball forward by Dan Lidvet. I think it is going to be Gamishvik playing him onside. 100% it's going to be. We're going to get the replay again. We're not going to be able to see, though, are we? It has to be Gamishvik down on this left-hand side. Great finish, though, by Tegan. And after that mistake, we've somehow managed to restore our lead against Bodo Glimt. And at half-time, this is much, much better. Although we played this well in the last game, we just didn't have any end result. But yeah, much, much better, especially against a team there's no way we should be beating Bodo Glimt. I fully expect them to come at us in this second half with everything they've got, but we've only allowed one shot on target, and of course that's the one that they did score from. Right, into the final 12 minutes of the game again. We've done well to win the ball back there. Cowie finds Krokstrand, new onto the pitch. Cowie looks long for Solheim, the other substitute we've made. He's done well to take that past Meyer. He's got Tegan inside. Tegan, can he finish? No, finds Stivang instead for his second of the game. 10 goals Stivang, the second goal of the game. We've worked that really well. All credit has to go to Solheim there down the right-hand side to get away from Meyer, the defender. It was fantastic work by the 17-year-old. Let's not forget, this touch is unreal. And it was either Meyer fouls him or he lets Solheim go. Tegan, great presence of mind to fight Stivang outside of him. I think Stivang is possibly going to be better coming in off that left-hand side. Looking at him with Tegan as the striker, but there 3-1 against Bodo Glimt is absolutely unreal. And it's going to be a massive 3 points for us if we can hold on, of course, as Bodo do still pose a threat. It's Foda. Good tackle by Cowie. Krokstrand looking for Solheim again. He's got Tegan ahead of him. Can he feed him? It's a poor pass this time, and Meyer cuts it out. But we are going to win this header with Abrahamsson, and it falls at the feet of a Bodo player again. It's Fossen, the goal scorer, inside the penalty area. He pulls it back for Lillstrand. Oh, I thought Ford had saved that. But Lindstrand has put the ball into the back of the net to make it a nervy finish here for Brann. A nervy finish. I feel like Cowie could have got to the ball there after that sort of loose touch from Fosen. But I think that's just the way that the match engine visualises what's actually happened. But we're into injury time. We're still holding on here, 3-2. It's been a great performance. What a fantastic performance from Brann against the uber dominant team in Norway in Bodo Glimt. That's absolutely fantastic, and that's got our season started, which is great. It moves us, it's only 2 games in, but it moves us into 9th place, away from the bottom of the table. Bodo find themselves in the relegation zone. Like I say, it is only 2 games in, though. Of course, it's not going to stay like that. But yeah, fantastic result. And then confirmation, guys, just quickly, of the league table to end the episode on. Look how many times Bodo have won the league in a row. 2051. So 2050 was the last time they did not win the league. We're in 2068. So that tells me they've got 17 in a row. 17 in a row. And we've just beat them. Which is great. Have we ever won it? Brann, 2007, last time we won it. So I've heard of Brann before. We were a fairly big team. I remember Rosenborg being a big team. 17 in a row, and we've just beat them. So that is the end today, guys. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Been an absolute pleasure, as it always is. Mixed start to the season. Unfortunately, disappointing to lose that game to Haugesund. But fantastic result against Bodo Glimt. But guys, please remember to hit that thumbs up button for me. It does help me out massively. Subscribe button as well if you want to stay up to date with the future content. And help me out as well. Also, any comments as well, guys, please let me know. And I'll see you all in the next episode. We'll come back after a third of the season and see exactly where we're at. So cheers, guys, and I'll see you later.